Are you ready to find your voice, fulfill your purpose, build unstoppable confidence? And are you ready to learn how to trust, accept, and love yourself enough to do the work to create what you want in life? Oh, and do you want to learn how to do it without burning yourself out, sacrificing what matters most, or compromising on your values? Then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Crystal Stanton, a certified coach, human design enthusiast, entrepreneur, and podcast host on a mission to guide women into their true, authentic success, to help them recognize their power and to step out from the shadows and into the woman they were always meant to be. Around here, we don't do grey, unaligned versions of our life. We don't settle for what we should be happy with. Around here, we do big, bold, courageous, fulfilled, rich lives, and we do it in an aligned, nourished, and truly authentic way. If that sounds like the life you want, then stick around and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. Welcome to another episode of Fearless. Here we are again. So excited. And today, in this episode, I really just want to share something from the heart today. From the heart. So, last week, exactly a week ago now? No, not quite that long. Last week, I was invited to be a guest on another podcast. So when that is released, I will share it with all of you. Don't worry, because it was great. But during that podcast interview, I was asked a question that really stopped me. It stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I don't have a ready answer for this question. Now, there's a few things going on there. It was a big question and it had a lot of different ways it could be answered, but wanted like one or two answers. My open head and ajna was like, oh, too many things to choose from. I don't know what to do. Anyway, I'm going to share what the question was, and I'm going to share how I was divinely guided to what my answer really is to that question, which also ties into human design as well. The more you're listening to this podcast, the more you're going to realize that human design for me is a massive part of my growth and transformation journey. And the more I learn about it, the more I dive into it, and the more I share it with clients, the more I'm convinced that it is just the most incredible framework for transformation, for growth, for expansion, for prosperity, for abundance, for literally everything. So I will be sharing more of my learning and journey with human design, and you know that if you come into any of my spaces, it's going to be a big part of the work that we do. Okay, slow down. So in the podcast, the beautiful woman, Hayley, who was interviewing me from Dazzle Digital, she asked me, and she's a projector, so it's not surprising that she asked a question that just stopped me in my tracks and really made me go, oh my gosh, I've never thought about that before. I really want to get curious about that. And it's such a simple question that's why I was how do I not have an answer ready to go for this question? Especially considering the intention of this podcast and all of the work that I do. But she asked me, you're a mother, what 2 pieces of advice would you give your daughters that you would want them to have growing up? And I was like, oh my God, that is such a fantastic question. Why don't I have a ready answer for that? And an answer did come out. I don't remember what it was, because a lot of the time, similar to these podcast episodes, I don't really script them. I might have some dot points or some notes. Most of it, I just trust my throat center, my defined throat center. I just trust my channel that what needs to come through will come through. And most of the time, I don't even remember what it is that I've said. So I did give an answer. Now, an interesting side note about human design that I learnt, yesterday, was around my defined solar plexus, okay, which is your center for emotional center for awareness. And a part of that is that spirit will always, or universe, or source, or God, divine mind, whatever word you want to use, you'll have like a really unique, specific way that you communicate with them. And it's hilarious because I joke all the time with my friend Anya, who has been on the show a few times. I joke all the time with her about how I feel like spirit, universe communicates with me through Instagram. Like, it is the silliest thing ever, but anytime I'm pondering something or I've asked some questions or a topic has come up, literally like within the next 24-hour window, Instagram will deliver exactly what I need to know or understand. Like it's insane. I can't even, and you know, Anya and I, if you've listened to our episodes together, we do energetic work together as light workers. So we do work on like in the quantum realm, and literally after every session we do together, Instagram will share something related to that. So I feel like for me, as dumb as it sounds, like Instagram is one of the key ways that spirit communicates with me. Kind of hilarious. But in this instance, the afternoon after I had done that interview for that podcast episode, the exact advice I wanted was delivered to me through Instagram. And so I want to share that with you. It came from a post created by Soulful Nomad Mama. And I'll put a link to the whole post down below because I'm not taking this. This is somebody else's wisdom that they have shared. So the link to the original post will be in the show notes for you to go and look at it. But it just hit me because I was like, oh, those were the exact words I was struggling to find to communicate what my advice is for my children, like what my goal as a mother is, because I'm raising girls, right? I'm raising two beautiful daughters and they are both very unique and very different to each other. And I can see the power they have, the love they have. Like, I know they are here to change the world and make the world a better place. And so, and they're also they're not a reflection of me, they're the evolution of me, right? Like, I don't want them to just be a reflection of me. I want them to be the next evolution. And I feel like that should be every generation's goal, is for the generation coming after them to be an evolution, not just a copy and paste of the same thing. And so a lot of the self-reflection and the healing work and the transformation work I have done has been to sort of heal these parts of me that I feel will help my daughters be the evolution of me. And so this post just grabbed me. And I was like, that is exactly it. So I'm going to share the first page because this is what I want for my daughters. This is what I want them to know about me as their mother and about what I wish for them. So that it was a carousel slide, and the first slide said, I am not raising another good girl. Because good girls shrink. They silence their truth. They smile through discomfort and abandon themselves just to be loved. I won't pass that down. I was in because if there is any like one specific thing I could say about what it is I have been working on for the last 4 years in my own journey, it has been that. It has been trying to decondition that good girl narrative or programming that I received growing up, that my mum received, that my grandma received, that so many women receive, right? That be a good girl, don't make people feel uncomfortable, don't make a fuss, there's so much proving energy behind that, and there's so much like abandonment of self and of your truth and what you want to say because you don't want to make waves, right? And I know that this is a core wound in my ancestral lineage, and there are so many stories I could share around that, but it's not even necessary. Like, it's just for me, I know that I did that growing up. I did that. I wanted to be the good girl. I wanted to be the one that my parents could brag about. I wanted to be the girl that didn't make waves. I wanted to be the girl that, did really well in school, could make my parents proud, all of those things that didn't cause conflict. And then that then obviously, throat center, what do we want to say? Because this is a wound. So even in sharing this, my truth is struggling to come through because the conditioning is still there. It's very interesting. That obviously then trickled through my whole life, through my previous career, even moving into this space, in this coaching space, it's still there because a good girl doesn't make waves. And when you are a coach and when you are trying to empower women, you have to make waves. Like, you have to make so many waves. And so that has been something I have come up against over and over and over again. And I know in my education career, I would be sitting in leadership meetings and I would have this truth that I wanted to share. I would have this, this injustice I would want to point out about what we were doing, or this piece of lack of integrity I could see. And I could feel it in here. And for so much of my life, I've had this like tense like pain in my throat, which is all around this like silencing my truth because I don't want to make waves, right? I got to shrink myself down, don't want to stand out, like, all of this conditioning. And so I do not want to pass that down to my girls. I don't want to pass that down. And that is not a judgment or a criticism or an attack on my ancestry, my lineage, my mother, my grandmother. They are beautiful, beautiful people. And it's not just come from them, it comes from society as well. And it is not about that, calling anyone out, saying that what they did was wrong, what they did was right. It's just, for me, I'm like, okay, I know the limitation that a good girl identity creates in someone's life. I've experienced that limitation, even in wanting to pursue a music career. And this will sound crazy, but I didn't. One of the reasons, if I'm being completely transparent and honest, one of the reasons I did not pursue a career in music was because I was too scared of writing music that would make my family ashamed of me, that they wouldn't be proud of, or they would, oh, that's a bit risque, or oh, you can't say that, or you can't use words like that, or I was so, because of this good girl identity that I had, that's what identity is. My identity was a good girl. And so even in, activities I did or roles that I took on, it was all around maintaining that good girl image and identity to my detriment, to my lack of exploration. I didn't want to try things because it doesn't align with my good girl identity. And again, this is why identity work is so important. So this is the post that gave me the exact advice I want my daughters to receive from me. And here it is in one of the other slides. It says, let her be loud, let her be wild, let her take up space. Let her know that her no is holy, that her body is hers, that her intuition is sacred, that she doesn't need to dim her light to be loved. That's my advice for my daughters. That is my advice for my daughters. Be loud, be wild, take up space. Your no is holy, it's sacred. It's even more important to honor your no's than to follow your yeses. Your body is yours and nobody else's. Your intuition is so sacred. It is so sacred. And you really need to follow your intuition, learn to love it, learn to trust it, learn to let it guide you over your logical mind. And never, ever, ever dim your light because you think you will be loved, because you think that's how you receive love. We don't do that conditional love bullshit around here, my beautiful darlings. We are loved unconditionally for who we truly, truly are. For who we truly, truly are. That is my advice to my daughters. That is my advice for all of us, because the thing is about this, like, this is clearly shadow work, right? This is shadow work that I am working on, that so many of us need to work on. Like, this good girl identity narrative has been around for so long. It's one of the main ways that women are repressed or held in check or limited, is by living up to these good girl narratives or identities. And it's so pervasive. Like, it's so pervasive. It's not just about how you were raised, but it's society, media, like it's everywhere. And so if you're listening to this thinking, oh my God, like that just kicked me in the guts hearing that, or it's created some sort of emotional response in you, like literally I was sitting with tears in my eyes reading this the first time, it's because it's also speaking to the part of you that needs to heal. It's speaking to the good girl within you that is still there, that part of you that is still there. And she's there because she's trying to keep you safe, because not being a good girl equals not safe. And so she keeps popping up, trying to bring you back to being a good girl, because that's how you have created safety and a sense of worth and a sense of lovability by maintaining that good girl identity. But it's time to connect with her. It's time to hold her. It's time to bring her to the forefront, to take her in a warm embrace, to say, I love you, I see you, I thank you so much for everything you have done, for the way you have supported us and kept us safe. And now we are the woman who can hold it. We are the woman who can stand in her power. We are the woman who can be loud, who can be wild, who can speak her truth. We are the woman that does not abandon herself, and I will not abandon you ever again. You have my word, you have my promise, you have my trust, my love, unconditionally, forever and ever. And then let her go. Allow her to go. Allow her to go and play. Something I love to do when I'm working with any younger parts of myself or my inner child is to just see her put down the burden of responsibility, right? That a lot of the time these inner child wounds were created through some sense of, a sense of unrealistic expectation on you as a child that you then took on and basically started to act like a little adult, right? So I love to see my inner child put those buckets of responsibility down, those weights of responsibility down. And I just love to see her become childlike again and run off into a field or run off and play or skip along a path. And I'm like, yeah, because she feels safe now. Because I have taken responsibility. I'm the grown-up here. I'm the adult. I'm the woman in this relationship. It's time for me to step up, take that responsibility from my inner child, let her play, let her go and just be full of joy. And that gives me the freedom to be full of joy as well. And that gives me the freedom to get creative and be curious and all the things children are just so incredible at, right? Until all of this stuff gets piled onto them, all of this conditioning and programming and shoulds and shouldn'ts and blah, 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 all the yuckness. Let her play. Let her be loud, let her be wild, let her take up space. Let yourself do that as well, right? Because we have to heal these parts of ourselves so we can give this to our children, so we can pass this down. Because once you heal those ancestral wounds or shadows, it doesn't just release it for generations past, it releases it for generations forward. And they talk a lot about, the 7 generations previous and after. Any work you are doing now, you are doing for the next 7 generations. So imagine what your family line could look like in 7 generations' time if you right now do the work to release your good girl identity, if you now do the work to allow yourself to be loud, to allow yourself to be wild, imagine if you just worked on taking up space, claiming your space. Imagine if you just worked on never ever abandoning yourself again to make other people comfortable or to receive love. Imagine if you did that. Imagine what your family line will look like in 7 generations' time. Imagine the power they will have. Imagine the impact they will create. Imagine the prosperity and abundance that will come along with that. Doesn't that just feel like amazing? And it can be scary work, and it can be hard work, and there's so much that goes along with that. And that's what this podcast is here for, to help you with that journey, to help you, step alongside the fear that comes with that. And this is where you can take it deeper through understanding your human design, and that because there's very specific ways you are designed to show up and be loud and to be wild and take up space. There's a really unique, specific way that you, I'm speaking just to you, are designed to take up space in this world, to move through the world, to be seen and recognized and inspire. That's where human design comes in. Okay, I feel like that's enough. Yep, I feel like that's enough for this episode. If you want to know more about how you can take this next step, how you can start to release these identities that are holding you back, if this is the kind of advice you wish you had received as a child, or the kind of advice you want to give to your children, please share this with anyone you think would find it valuable. And you can come and find me on Instagram, questions, chats. If you want to come join the Fearless Collective, this is the kind of work that we do together. The Fearless Collective is a community of women creating this as a reality, doing this work for themselves so they can pass it on to the next 7 generations. Okay, big love, everybody. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I really hope you received exactly what you needed from it. I absolutely loved sharing it with you. I'd also love to know what you thought. So please leave a comment or review for me to respond to, or just come over and say hi on my socials. If you'd love to be a guest on the show, or maybe you have a question or a topic that you'd like me to talk about, then please send me a message. I absolutely love to connect. And really, this podcast is all about you. And your success. So tell me what you need to hear more of. If you really enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, or even better, send it to someone you know to spread the love. Let's get this authentic success movement happening. Okay, that's it from me. Big love. Now go out there and be amazing.